They had it all, in Columbus, Ohio, until one night changed everything. Spencer and Monique Teppa were the picture of happiness. Friends admired their love, neighbors remembered their kindness, and their children, their world was full of laughter. The love that shined bright. In the heart of Columbus, Ohio, Spencer and Monique Teppa were known as a joyful couple whose love story inspired everyone around them. Spencer, a respected dentist, lived with a calm confidence born from years of helping others. Monique, with her background in childhood education, radiated warmth and kindness that made people feel seen and valued. Together they hosted neighbors for backyard dinners, cheered at local school fundraisers, and celebrated every moment with their two young sons, who filled the home with laughter, curiosity, and boundless energy. Friends often said the family's relationship felt like a promise of stability, something rare and precious in a world where so many relationships struggle. But beneath that promise, echoes of the past were never far away, especially in Monique's life before Spencer. Her first marriage had ended years earlier, and while she had moved forward, some pieces of history could not easily be forgotten. Spencer and Monique had built a life together centered around love, family, and community. From weekend hikes in local parks to bedtime stories with their two sons, their days were full of ordinary moments that felt extraordinary. They were a family people admired, and anyone who stepped into their home could feel the warmth and joy that radiated from their bond. When the past refused to stay silent, life in Columbus, Ohio continued to look peaceful for Spencer and Monique. Their days revolved around work, school schedules, and raising their two sons. To friends and neighbors, they were a family who had already overcome challenges and come out stronger. But not every story ends when people think it does. Before Spencer, Monique had loved someone else. Her first marriage had ended years earlier, yet the emotional weight of that chapter lingered quietly in the background. Her ex-husband, Michael McKee, struggled to accept that their life together was truly over. While Monique moved forward, remarried, happy, and raising her two sons, Michael remained stuck in the past. Those who knew him later said he became more withdrawn, more isolated. He watched from a distance as Monique built a new life in Columbus, a life filled with laughter, stability, and love that no longer included him. What seemed like silence on the outside was, on the inside, a storm of unresolved emotions. Spencer, unaware of how deep those feelings ran, focused only on protecting his family. He believed in peace, in moving forward, and in the idea that the past should stay where it belongs. But sometimes, unresolved pain doesn't fade quietly. Sometimes, it waits. And slowly, tension began to build. No arguments. No public warning signs. Just a quiet undercurrent that no one could see, until it was too late. The night everything changed. On a cold December night in Columbus, Ohio, the neighborhood was quiet. Streetlights glowed softly, houses stood still, and inside one home, Spencer and Monique were ending an ordinary day with their two sons asleep in their rooms. It was supposed to be just another night. No arguments, no warnings, no signs that anything was wrong. But somewhere between silence and darkness, everything changed. When morning came, the home that once echoed with laughter was filled with shock. Spencer and Monique were gone. Their two sons survived the night, unaware that their world had been broken forever. As news spread through the neighborhood, disbelief turned into heartbreak. Neighbors stood outside in silence. Friends struggled to understand how a family so full of love could be taken in an instant. Questions flooded the community. How could this happen? Who would do this? Why this family? And just like that, a peaceful home in Columbus became the center of a tragedy that would shake the entire city. The investigation begins. As the sun rose over Columbus, Ohio, police cars filled the quiet street. The home that once held laughter was now sealed off, surrounded by flashing lights and unanswered questions. Detectives worked carefully. They spoke to neighbors, reviewed security cameras, and traced movements from the hours before that tragic night. Every detail mattered, every shadow. No reason anyone could explain. But one name kept returning. Monique's past slowly came into focus. Investigators learned more about her previous marriage and the unresolved tension that followed the divorce. What once seemed distant and irrelevant now demanded attention. The case was no longer just a tragedy. It was a targeted investigation, and the search for answers had only just begun. The arrest. Days after the investigation began, the case took a sudden turn. Police confirmed they were no longer searching blindly. Evidence had started to connect. Timelines aligned. Movements outside Columbus, Ohio raised red flags. Then came the news that shook everyone following the story. Monique's ex-husband, Michael McKee, was arrested in Illinois. Authorities said the arrest was the result of careful investigation and coordination between states. He was later brought back to Franklin County, Ohio, where he was formally charged. In court, McKee remained silent. He pleaded not guilty, as the law allows, leaving the final truth to be decided by the justice system. For the community, the arrest brought mixed emotions. Relief, because a suspect was in custody. Pain, because no arrest could bring Spencer and Monique back. And heartbreak, especially for their two sons, whose lives had already been changed forever. Justice was beginning its slow process. But healing would take much longer. The children left behind. After Michael McKee's arrest, the spotlight of tragedy shifted from the investigation to the most vulnerable, the two young sons of Spencer and Monique. The boys had survived the night that took their parents, but now they faced a world forever changed. The home that once echoed with laughter was silent, and rooms that held bedtime stories, family dinners, and playful arguments now felt empty. Extended family and close friends quickly stepped in to provide care. Neighbors volunteered to help with school drop-offs, meal preparations, and even just holding space for the boys when grief felt too heavy. Local organizations and counselors from Columbus schools offered support, ensuring the children had access to mental health resources and someone to talk to when questions or fears became overwhelming. In the midst of shock and sadness, the community began to rally. Candlelight vigils were held to honor Spencer and Monique, with neighbors sharing memories of the couple's generosity and kindness. Stories of Spencer helping fix a neighbor's car, of Monique encouraging students beyond the classroom, reminded everyone that love and memory could endure even when lives are lost. For the boys, every day was a mix of confusion, sorrow, and small glimpses of comfort. They learned that while their parents were gone, the people around them, teachers, relatives, friends, could help them carry on. Playgrounds and schoolyards became places where they could feel normal again, even briefly, as life continued in a world that had abruptly shifted. The tragedy left a scar on Columbus, but it also revealed the strength of community and resilience of family bonds. Even in the darkest moments, love persisted, in the care for these children, in the memories shared by friends and neighbors, and in the small acts of kindness that Spencer and Monique had inspired during their lives. Though the legal case continued, the story of the Teppa family was no longer just about tragedy. It had become a testament to endurance, hope, and the enduring impact of love, lessons that would guide their two sons as they grew up, keeping the memory of their parents alive in their hearts and actions. Legacy and community healing. Months passed, but the memory of Spencer and Monique Teppa never faded. In Columbus, Ohio, the neighborhood that once mourned now began to heal together. Friends, neighbors, and schools rallied around their two young sons, offering support, love, and guidance as the boys slowly learned to navigate a world without their parents. The couple's legacy lived on in small acts. The local library established a reading corner in Monique's honor, celebrating her love for children and education. A charity drive organized by Spencer's colleagues helped families in need, carrying forward his spirit of generosity. For their sons, every playground visit, every hug from a teacher or relative, was a reminder that they were never truly alone. They carried the lessons of kindness, resilience, and love their parents had instilled in them, lessons that would guide them for the rest of their lives. Even in tragedy, the community found hope. Candlelight vigils became celebrations of the Teppa family's life, and neighbors shared stories that reminded everyone of what truly mattered: love, connection, and the bonds that survive even after loss. Though the pain would never completely disappear, the story of Spencer and Monique became a testament to endurance, hope, and the power of community, proving that even after the darkest nights, light can return, and love can continue to shine. Case conclusion and justice served. After months of investigation and court proceedings, the case finally reached its verdict. Michael McKee, Monique's ex-husband, was found guilty of the murders of Spencer and Monique Teppa in Franklin County, Ohio. The courtroom was tense as the judge read the sentence. Family, friends, and neighbors watched with mixed emotions: relief that justice had been served, sorrow for the lives lost, and hope for the future of the two young sons who had survived the tragedy. The community that had mourned so deeply. Neighbors who had come together during the darkest nights now felt a sense of justice, knowing that the person responsible for tearing apart a loving family would be held accountable. Even in grief, the Teppa family's story became a reminder: love leaves a legacy that no crime can erase. The boys, surrounded by caring family and community, began to heal, carrying forward the lessons of kindness, resilience, and hope their parents had taught them. Though tragedy had struck, justice had spoken. And in Columbus, Ohio, the memory of Spencer and Monique continued to inspire acts of love, generosity, and community, proving that even in the darkest moments, light can return.